welcome everyone. Thank you for joining Diane in her first event. I was really happy to hear from her and she asked me to present to you about some organizing of your workspace, a topic that I understand one of our participants is actually painting a workspace, so great timing. So we're going to first talk about organization and looking at function and efficiency of your actual office or wherever. Maybe it's a portable workspace, so it ends up being a table. Or ergonomics, because I don't think we can talk about office space without talking about posture and making sure eye strain is not enhanced, and also just keeping our body as erect as we can when we're working diligently at our computers. A little bit about the environment in which your office is sitting. Hopefully I have a little bit of tips there to consider that maybe you don't even think about because you're working so hard. And also just working from home healthy tips that I think everyone just needs to be reminded of. I'm sure everyone is aware of it, but it's just nice reminder to think about as you're day after day, not moving from your office, you're just going from one part of the house to the other. So that's what our agenda is going to be. So first of all, I want to get a sense of probably there's a number of reasons why that we're home. Well, number one, we're home, but you might be, of course, working from home because that is the way of the world now, and it may continue for your employment. It's hard to know. You may be, last week I know a lot of folks were helping their children learning from home, which was extremely challenging to say the least. I have grandchildren and I know my family was having challenges with that. Or maybe that you're just looking to develop an area where you can get organized and pay your bills and do all that type of administrative work for your home. Or maybe you have a craft room where you're actually sitting at maybe a sewing machine, quilting a lot of your time. And so I think some of these tips hopefully will help you if you're a crafter kind of person and has that kind of room. So that's what we're looking to focus on. So function and efficiency. So at times, looking at these pictures, we tried to pick ones that really hopefully demonstrate real life, and I think at times it does. I know at times, once in a while, I let my desk get like the top left-hand corner, but try not to be too often. But it's just it's actually a symptom of the amount of projects or work items we're trying to shuffle and just not having the time and energy to complete the necessary steps. So let's start with organizing for function and efficiency. So I think the first thing I'd like to really stress is about decluttering and organizing. If you ever walk into your office and look at the desk and you just want to turn on your heels and leave because you can't see the surface of your desk, I think that's an indicator that there might be some steps here that will help you. So first of all, I'd suggest you're going to get organized. You take everything off the surface of your desk. I mean, everything. If your computer's a bit large, maybe you can leave it there, but the keyboard, all your papers, all your pens, maybe calendars, whatever you have on your desk, remove. Then the next step is to take your documents that you have and think about sorting them into piles of either work topics or projects. So you might have 5 different projects on the go, or you might have 8 different work areas that you're responsible for. I want you to think about how you could categorize those and put the papers in that type of setting. Once you have them sorted, think about putting them in either a file folder or some type of insert that you can keep those files together for that work topic. If you don't have file folders at home, just use really large paper clips. Just as long as they're clipped together, it's really helpful. Some people like color file folders, so that the red is really priority, and the others, some people just like plain. But really think about having folders or actually stacks of the work that's related. The next thing is to clean the surface of your desk. Take the opportunity, clean it all down. Just really clean it, shine it, whatever surface it is, use appropriate cleaners, and just have your surface fresh, waiting for what you need to put now back on your on your desk. The only thing that you just sorted that should go on your desk is your priority item. It's the item that is the priority work that you have a deadline or that must be done in a certain time due to your work requirements, and don't put the other items on your desk. This is important. This is really important because if you have a number of your folders are all over your desk and now you have to sit down, your brain will want to keep going and looking at, oh, but I got this to do, now I got that to do, but I got to focus on this one priority item. If you have just that one item of the papers of that project, you can concentrate on that one item. This is just the way our brain works. It's always trying to receive and send out messages, receive, and it's seeing other work, and you get distracted and you're getting frustrated and thinking, I can't do it all. So that's a really helpful tip that I learned over my many years of working, plus in my small businesses, because it's two small businesses, you got a variety of things happening, the one item at a time. The other thing is, well, I'm going to assume a lot of us have pens, pencils, markers, highlighters, all these type of things, and maybe they're scattered all over the desk. Take the time to sort your pens, highlighters, pencils, and make sure use each one. If something's not working or skipping, throw it in the trash. What's the point of having it? If it's not what you feel that really feels right in your hand, put it in a bin for the rest of your family to use. But in your office, you want only fresh, working, and items that feel nice in your hand and that you really find ergonomically correct. That's a really big deal, especially if you're doing a lot of writing. Also, I want you to think about the drawers. If you have a desk, the drawers in your desk, they can become very overloaded. They can become quite disorganized. Again, take everything out of your drawers, place them in various, you can get little drawer dividers if you're into being that type of organized fashion. The positive impacts of having little drawer organizers is you can only fit so much in it, so you're not going to overflow it again. That is one thing with container organization, is you won't overflow it because the container won't hold it. But just remember, don't allow your, I've had a number of clients who their office drawers in their desk and filing cabinets have become their junk drawers too. Don't do that. It's a tendency to do that because it's out of sight, out of mind. But when you're opening it, you can retrieve something quickly. If you're really on a deadline, it's so easy to have that organized in the drawers. The other thing is, think about the items that you've got your work project, you've got just the pens and pencils you need. What are the other only priority items that you really need on your desk? Only for you. Everyone's going to be different. Some people say, I got to have my day timer. Maybe you don't use that. Some people say, I have to have a calendar. But only the minimal items, because you want your work surface to just have the items you're working on and the necessities. And otherwise, you get more and more, your mind gets cluttered, your brain's just starting to swirl. So the items and the pieces that you're not using, so let's take the file folders, I suggest getting a bin or a box, or if you don't have a filing cabinet is preference if you're really going to be working from your home for long term, to get a filing cabinet and put those other work projects in there. And if you're not going to have that, put it in a bin with a lid. A lid is really important. Lid is important because of our other family members being around our office. Maybe you have pets, maybe you spilled your water. If you have a lid, it's not going to destroy your papers. So that is really, really important. I think it's a really helpful habit at the end of your workday. Take all the papers off your desk. Leave, clearly you're going to leave your mouse and keyboard and the monitor, but all your work papers and anything that is connected to that work project, put in the bin, put it under your desk. This allows you in the morning, you have come into your office and your desk is clean, it's fresh, it's waiting for you, and it's not overwhelming your brain saying, I can't do all these 18 folders I have on my desk, I'll never get through it. You know to get the top one or the one that's priority and start working on it. These bins And most people's offices become very much a lifesaver. It really allows you to have a clutter-free desk. If you can really start at the end of the day, just sweeping, putting it in your bin under the desk and leaving, coming in the morning, like I said, is just, it really makes the transition back from home life, which is like 3 steps away from your office, into the work world of clean, clear, uncluttered environment that you're going to be walking into. And if this is a portable the kitchen table now, or the dining room table, or just a table somewhere, it allows then you to transform that table back into its original function. And you've got your secure work in a box that the, as I said, the family is not going to be able to disturb. So from an office perspective, those are the key things. I mean, we could go into a lot of things about, you know, should you have this and that, but I really want to instill upon you organizing your papers into projects, clearing off your desk, putting them away in the bin, and starting fresh each morning will really help you, I think, really re-engage and start fresh each morning with a fresh mind. So the next topic we're going to speak to is the ergonomics. This is looking at your chair, your computer screen, and your cell phone. So for somebody with say you're a quilter and you're at your sewing machine a lot, so think of the chair, of course, you're going to have the computer screen is actually going to be your sewing machine, and the cell phone, you may get some calls when you're doing your crafting. So I think this is applicable as well. So the first thing is about the chair, and I think because of the number of hours we as a society are in sitting, doing a lot of our activities, not only working, but having your dinner, watching TV, driving, well, we're not driving as much these days, but driving, that type of thing. Our spine and hips really are starting to show impacts of this. And you're going to hear, and I'm sure you have, your back stiffens up, you're going to get lower back pain, or your shoulders, your neck, like there's all types of things if we don't really be aware of and remind ourselves the importance of ergonomics of the workstation. So feet flat on the floor or on a riser. I prefer a riser. I just find that a little bit of elevation for myself just reduces the way my hips feel in my chair. The 90-degree arms on the arm of the chair. So hopefully you will have a chair that will rise up or down so you can fit yourself to the correct height, and that you're lifting it to a point where you're not too high, but you're not too low. So you've got just a neutral position for the 90 degrees of your hands. The computer screen, this is really something for people like me who wear glasses. It's really difficult to get the right distance of for the screen for people with glasses, especially because depending on if you're nearsighted or short-sighted, or if you have transition glasses, getting that right distance is really challenging, and with an eye strain. So really play with your monitor to get that distance, because it will really save your eyes. And so the upright position, so we all have a tendency to kind of move forward like a chicken. And that's just from looking over a device, or if you're on a laptop, you're probably down like here. That's why up is really important. The screen should be at eye level and slightly downward. So if it's slightly up, your eyes and the muscles in your eyes are always trying to pull yourself up, where if it's slightly down, there's a slight rest to the eyes and the strain on the eyes. It's also thinking about protect your vision. So when I'm saying protect your vision, think about the visual breaks. So you're looking at a screen and you're typing away and you're doing something, and you maybe have to concentrate for a second. Look away from the screen. Just take your eyes off the screen and look away. We'll get into this, but I want you to set something up that really engages you to look at, and then go back to the screen. So these visual breaks, either up or down, and like maybe it's right one time and left and the other time, and it really helps just the movement of your neck, but it gives your eyes a really good break. The other thing is you can purchase blue light blocking glasses now. I mean, they're all over the place, and it just reduces, the blue light that's coming into your eyes if you're on the computer 8 to 10 hours a day. And you will see that more and more. I think you're going to be eventually advised by your optometrist that these are something that it's going to be worthwhile investing in. And for the keyboard, I just want you to think about the positioning of the key. So, you know, are you in your wrists? So everyone heard of carpal tunnel. It's still around for some people. So that is really more so with people who have laptops. If you have a desktop and you have a keyboard, you can get those little risers that you can rest then your wrists on, like wrists right here, they can rest on. So that's something you can think about. But if you have a laptop, think about how your wrists are and do some wrist exercises, because that really, they'll start to lock up and then you're going to start getting pains up your forearms. So the other thing is cell phones. Probably, I would think 90% of us are using cell phones for our main line and for your business phone during these work from home days. So if you're on the phone a lot, or if you're video conferencing, I really am suggesting considering purchasing a headset or earbuds, because holding a phone, I didn't bring my phone with me, but if you're holding something like this and you're trying to type, you are going to do major damage to your neck. And you will feel that after at least a week of doing that a couple times during the week, it will really start to really impact your alignment of your neck and your spine, and it's really important. Plus, it just keeps out the noise of the home if there's others working from home and somebody else is in a conference call, or the dog's barking at the Amazon delivery man, or whatever's happening. Just think about that. You can get really inexpensive ones online, and they work well enough that you can do your work from that perspective. I use mine all the time. If you want to know a little bit more of how to set up a real safe workstation and the ergonomics especially, we put up the website here of the Canadian Workplace Safety and Prevention Services. And there's a couple of checklists on that site about working from home that they've put up just this past year, which are very helpful. And the environment. So we're going to talk about a few things. So tomorrow morning, when you walk into your office or your craft area, I want you to, first thing you notice, I want you to really smell the air. What are you smelling? Is it just nice and neutral? Or is it stuffy? It doesn't feel like there's been air movement? Or is it like stale? It's like there's been no fresh air in there. Or maybe you're smelling, you've had fish last night and now it's still in your room. Or if you're having to work at your kitchen, maybe you're smelling the garbage because you forgot to take it out last night. Just think about the air quality as you walk into your room. I really recommend people opening their windows, depending on the temperature, 5 minutes. If we're above -5, I say 5 minutes. If we're below -5, probably 2 or 3 is enough. But just to get that really good fresh air into the room. So come in the morning, open your window. Hopefully you have a window. We'll talk about that in a minute. And just let that fresh air in, get it all, and it's really going to invigorate yourself too. I really think it's going to lift you. And then shut the window. I really think that's important to do. The other time to do it, if you ever feel the 2:30, 3 o'clock drag, I used to call it the drag, when you really, if you were at your workspace, you would just get up and go to the coffee room, get a coffee or get a drink of water because you had a few more hours left and it felt like they were going to be 10. Open the window up again, because you will get that refreshing breath. The oxygen will come in and it'll just really reawaken your brain. If your area is an area that you are not able to have a window in, or it doesn't open well in the winter, or it's just not feasible, you can get really small room-sized portable air purifiers that really help keep the air nice and fresh and moving. And it's really helpful, especially in these times of cold, but anytime, to keep the air in your workspace moving is so important for your brain health and to keep your concentration and focus. The energy of your brain and your body is important to be optimum. And these are just little tips to make them optimum. Light, natural light. How much are you getting? So maybe think about when you walk in tomorrow morning, like how much light is coming in? Are you getting any light? Pull back your curtains. If you got the curtains closed, pull them back. If you're in an area where you may have neighbors looking in, I'm sure they really don't care, as long as they're not seeing your monitor, that you're sitting at your desk working hard. It's okay. But open up and get the sunshine and natural light in. It really does impact your productivity, energy, and just your overall well-being to have. The other consideration is if you don't have a lot of natural light, or maybe the window is really, really tiny and even opening curtains is not going to be helpful, purchase more artificial lighting and make sure it's coming from all directions. Like, just don't have a concentrated desk lamp. Maybe have like a floor lamp over in one corner and a light in the ceiling, and put some really good bulbs in it that are going to give you that more natural feeling. And you can get these light bulbs really easily right now to get that natural light feeling, and just make it more bright and alive to engage your brain and lighten your mood. Also, there are experts who really believe, especially for the winter months, and if you're so many kilometers north of the equator, which we clearly are, an LED light therapy lamp is really helpful to lighten your mood. Some people use it, they just leave it on their desk, and it's a really good bright light to have going maybe the either morning or afternoon when the sunshine is not really coming into your workspace, but it really does have an impact on your mood. Temperature. So you walk in, okay, are you walking in your shorts, or are you walking in your winter jacket? We don't want it too hot or too cold. Both will impact your day productivity for sure. The recommended setting is between 70 and 73 degrees. I suggest that you find the temperature that works for you, that you're alert, your eyes aren't burning because it's too warm or too cold, and that you're able to feel refreshed. That's again why we bring in the air from the windows. So it's really important. So more cool provides mental clarity and productivity. That is why in most schools and so on, it's usually a little bit cooler. You want it a little bit cooler than too warm. So visual sight lines. This is something that people really don't think about, but I really think it's important. So when you're not looking at your screen, if you're looking to the right or to the left or above it, like, what are you seeing? Are you seeing something that's engaging? Are you seeing all the dirty dishes from last night? Or are you seeing that pile of books that you said you were going to read, but you haven't even touched one? What are you seeing? I want you to think about, number one, if it's clutter, get rid of the clutter. And if it's a stack of books you need to read, put the book somewhere else, because now your brain's thinking, oh, I feel guilty, I haven't read anything. So your brain's now connecting with the guilt, and now your brain's you want it to focus on your work project. So I want you to think about putting something like an object or a picture directly either at the side of your screen that you normally look to or above, that's going to make you happy. Think about maybe putting something on the actual desk that makes you happy, like a plant, or maybe a photograph of the family, or maybe it's inspirational poem, or maybe it's like a photo inspirational rock, or maybe the best place is to have your desk looking outside and seeing some beautiful, snowscapes right now, or the snow falling down, or the sun coming up, or the beautiful, if you're working at night, especially tonight, there's a beautiful full moon. Like, engage with nature. It really does enhance our mental health and well-being. Cleaning, workspace. It's really, I know when people are working from home, you're going to the kitchen, probably you're getting your coffee or tea or soft drink or whatever it is, and you're setting it down, and now we've got rings, and now we've got something else has cluttered over here. Wiping down your computer itself, polishing the screen to get the dust off because, as you know, it tracks the dust, and wiping down the arms of your chair and the desktop weekly is really, really something that I encourage you to get as a habit. Because if you're going to be wiping everything down, you're going to make sure that you're not cluttering up your workstation again. So it's got two really good points to having the cleanliness. And right now, the more opportunity you can wipe it down, then you're just keeping the germs at bay and will all continue to be healthy through this COVID. The final thing about your environment is color. And one of the ladies said they were painting. I really, really, if you find that you can create your workspace in an office area, a true office, I encourage you to put color on the wall. I don't know if you can see behind me, I've got the greens going on behind me here. It's in real life, it's really bright. When the painter painted, he thought I was a little bit crazy, but it really brightens my mood to come in here and see that it's, for me, that's a happy color. I want you to pick a color that warms your heart, that makes you smile and updates and really feel that energy that you have picked that color and it makes you happy. I love the happy heart because I really think of what colors resonate with you and just go for it. Maybe you only want one wall of that color, but that's okay. Just something happy. So finally, I'm going to talk about some healthy tips when you're working from home. These are probably some things that you normally would have done maybe in your workspace and maybe not. For me, number one is drink lots of water. Our brain and bodies need water. We got to stay hydrated. The more hydrated you are, the better your brain power and the better your mood. So just constantly drink water. If winter is the time of year you don't like cold water, just warm it up or have the kettle going, put it in your cup and just drink hot water. It really does enhance your mood. Or add lemon to it or a little bit of flavoring, lime, things like that. Just make sure you're getting them awesome throughout the whole day. Take breaks. It's really important that you take a stretch break every 30 minutes. I know that seems a lot, but our bodies, we're going to be hunched over the keyboard. We're looking at it. We're concentrating. If you only have a quick minute, just do an over the top head. Do this. You can put your fingers to your head and just take your shoulders like this and just wind them up, round. Or the best thing is to stand up and just do some touchy toes, little jumping jacks. You want the blood circulation from head to toes moving all as much as you can. Sit down and go for it. And continue on. But I have just installed on my computer a 30-minute reminder. And at 29 minutes, my screen starts to gray out. And then at 30 minutes, I can't see my screen. So for 30 seconds, I get up and do a stretch and then come back in, hit the go, and I'm back on my work. So it really does help you, Ryan, if you're trying to get into the habit of making sure that you're making that physical break. Take a lunch break. You are at home. It's probably easy just to grab something and sit down at your desk and to continue on. I really encourage you to at least take 20 to 30 minutes. Get up out of your office area, go make a healthy, nutritious lunch, sit down for 10 minutes away from the computer if you're able, go back at it, and then it's going to be a break and refreshing break from the same number of space sitting in and the constant need to continually focus on your work. Your brain needs that mental break. Get outside daily. I really, really encourage this. I have a number of friends who love being outside like I do, and I have a number of friends that I can't get them out when it's under 10 degrees, minus 10. I just bundle up and just go for it for 30 minutes. Today I was out for 40 minutes and I think I got sunburned just from doing my cross-country skiing. My face is very red, so I apologize for that. Just from the sun, it was amazing. But really getting outside and getting that fresh air and just revitalizing your brain and body is going to really allow you your work days to be a lot more productive and not feel as exhausted and drained and worn out. Get quality sleep. The amount of science research on sleep and the impact of brain health and body health is really ratcheted up these last 10 years, and it is quality sleep. It's not quantity, it's quality. So deep sleep. If you're having problems with getting good quality sleep without waking up and thinking about all your projects or whatever else is happening in the world, there are so many resources now that you can get with books and podcasts and videos on YouTube, and there's so much out there about quality sleep that I encourage you. There's so many tips. Diane could do a seminar, a little 30-minute seminar on how to get quality sleep. There's so many things you can think about, but really it is important to feel refreshed in the morning. And the next thing is to develop an exercise habit. I really encourage people. Well, you know, it's my passion because I do exercise coaching, but the body wants to move. The body wants to be strong, and keeping us attached to our computer and our work for so many hours a day is really impacting our body. So I really encourage people to start with 5 minutes a day, 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, you can just do some stretching and moving your arms and just a little bit. You can stand. You don't have to get on the floor and do anything really extensive. But if you start just getting the blood circulating every day, 5 minutes, it could be core strength, it could be leg strength, it could be arm strength. Just pick a part of the body and just start. But it's a beginning. And really what we're trying to do is start the 5 minutes, create the habit, and I mean 5 minutes every day, not just work days, every day. Create the habit, and then in time, it becomes just automatic that you're doing something. In time, the 5 minutes will grow to 10 minutes, and then the 10 minutes will grow, and I recommend 30 minutes a day of exercise, either some type of strength or cardio, being walking or something like that. But really think about your body wants this movement. Your body really thrives in this movement. And when your body wants it, your brain is engaged. Your brain is working at full capacity. One of the tips I really share with people is think about stack your habits. So when I say stack your habits, put that 5 minutes beside something else you do every day. Maybe it's before your first cup of coffee, or maybe you're going to do 5 minutes before or after your first cup of coffee on your trip to to the coffee pot. You're going to do that 5 minutes of whatever it is. Stack them. It's really helpful. Short little durations stacked together, habits will stick. I really believe that is something that is so important in our work world today, where it's hard to get away from work when it's right in our home. But it's think of our long-term goal. This is our body. We don't get to trade in like we do our vehicles. We are what we build in our body, and maintenance is priority. So I'm hoping that some of these tips of not only organizing and decluttering and environment and health has helped you think about your workspace and thinking about how you can start your day feeling fresh and finish your day not feeling exhausted and ready to go out for your walk maybe, and feel more productive and also lighten your mood. So thank you. Does anybody have any questions, comments?
Yes. If anyone's got a question, you can just let me know in the chat, and then I will open your speaker and you can just say what you'd like to say. I'll let you end with this slide.
Okay. Well. So yes, so a little bit I do as you know from the intro that Diane provided, I do the home staging, organizing, interior decorating, that type of thing. But also from my personal training and group exercise, I hold a group exercise class every Mondays at 10 a.m. and it's called Eccentrics. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. It's a program that a ballerina developed who's from Montreal when she got injured and could no longer be a prima ballerina. And it's a combination of the ballet, Tai Chi, and some physiotherapy movements. So it's stretching and strengthening the whole body in a choreographed setting and where I provide instruction and demonstration of how to do it. So we're doing it to music, and it's a lot of fun, and it really does engage pretty much every muscle in your body. Each program that routine that is delivered to the clients, and we have a lot of fun, and everyone is joining us by Zoom. So if you have any questions about that, just email me. And also I do individual and small group exercise coaching. I will be starting probably near the end of February. I get ready for golf, some couple 30-minute sessions for people who are thinking about golf, but they should thinking about getting their body ready before that. Yeah, it's good for any age, but I try to keep it focused on, because a lot of my clients, because we're over 50 and because it's on Monday at 10 a.m., have some limitations just due to life happening. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this. This has been really enjoyable to be able to sit in my home and deliver this. This has been great. Great work, Diane.
It was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Perfect.
thank you.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good evening, everybody.
Okay, thanks, Diane.
Diane.
Thanks, Diane.